Hi there, welcome to my craft table. I'm Julie. Today I'm joining the Creative Design Team girls where we are sharing something extra special with you. We are sharing a never before seen here on YouTube some of our projects that are straight from our Creative Design Team membership classes. And we're so excited to give you a little sneak peek behind the scenes. If you're new here and you're wondering what the CDT membership is all about, it's a creative community where we teach weekly classes, we share some of our best tips, we include exclusive sketches, challenges, and even printable handouts. But the most important part is we connect with passionate scrapbookers and card makers like you. Inside the group, you will have access to weekly classes, weekly tips, and you can binge watch our entire content library. But honestly, the real magic is the community, the encouragement, the ideas, the inspiration that happens every single week. We have built such an amazing synergy as a team. We bounce ideas off of each other, we support each other, and we celebrate creativity together. But that's not all. What makes the Creative Design Team membership so special is that every single class is thoroughly curated and presented in 4 different unique ways throughout the month. Our videos are pre-recorded and carefully edited so that it gives you a smooth, focused learning experience. Every single class is packed with inspiration, ideas, without pause or distraction, because we all know your time is precious. Let's take a look at layout number 1 together. This all started back in January of 2025, where we explored many ways to stamp on your layouts. And I know that that can be a little scary, but you know what? We each broke it down in our unique styles. So for me, I thought I would do some background stamping, as you can see here, and I brought back this really cool technique. It's super easy. It is called stamp kissing, if you know it, but it really lended itself well to our topic of the month, which was stamping. It was really fun to explore even just random stamping to create your own pattern paper. We love to tackle some of these topics together, and we love to bring you different perspectives. And I think that that's what makes our CDT membership so much fun. For my next layout, it was all about birthday celebration. We actually did a collab right here on YouTube, so you can watch the process video for this one. I will link it down below. I decided to use a kit from Stampin' Up, and I changed it up to make it my own. I made the background white, did a little bit of ink blending, and then I took some of those die cuts. I just gave them a little bit of dimension. I cut out the white border. That was a little bit big for me. And then, of course, I brought in some of those really cool embossing folders. I really like that they're nice and big, and they can be used on pretty much any scrapbook page. So I really love the way that this turned out. This was a YouTube collab, and I'll be sure to link the playlist at the end of this video. Now for my next layout, this was a layout done in the CDT membership where we thought it would be fun to explore geometric shapes from triangles, circles, hexagons, anything to build a very dramatic background page or scrapbook layout, as you can see here. Now for me, hexagons, they are not my favorite shape. I always shy away from them. And that's what I love about working with the Creative Design Team. We encourage each other to try something different. For me, this was quite different using those hexagons. I tried to create balance and harmony on this page so that the photos were standing out and not so much all of the busy hexagons at the back. Another thing that we do tackle in the membership is journaling. Journaling is so important. The pages are gorgeous, but the story needs to be told. Now, every class usually has a double page layout, and we like to wrap it up with a few card examples. Because we work on so many examples when we're creating the page, we often have gorgeous pieces to make cards. I love the way this turned out. I love the nice black and white and then the pop of color. This one here was a gatefold card, and again we bring in that same element of the class, which was in my case hexagons. I really love the way this class turned out, and it was a lot of fun to tackle. In April we decided to talk about color theory, and I chose complementary colors, so red and green. In this case here, green and pink. I had just come back from a pretty awesome trip with my friend Natalie, and we stopped in New York City to catch Wicked. And I knew when we started talking color theories that this would be not only an awesome class to teach, but these photos were super fun to document. So I went through the selection of colors, how we make it all work, because that green is pretty bright, how to tame some of that brightness and bring in the complementary color as a pink, and then have everything in the back a little bit more neutral. This was a fun class and a fun layout to put together. Let's take a look at some of the cards that were part of this class, and these were done with these flowers. During the class, I went through how I colored those in with watercolor paper, because yes, we do love to sprinkle in a few techniques when we can. This was a fun layout to do, and the techniques were super fun to teach. I thought I'd bring in this layout from May. This was a May collab where we celebrated our very good friend, Erin, right here on YouTube. Erin had reached 30,000 subscribers, and we were here to celebrate her. For this layout, I decided I was going to create my own ephemera. So I did a lot of stamping and die cutting, and it was quite easy to build this page because once again, I was using a reference from Erin, and I was able to replicate some of her clustering. If you've seen Erin here on YouTube, you know that she loves to layer and cluster, and I thought that this was a really good way to celebrate her. There is a process video for this one here, and I will list that down below. Now let's take a look at the next layout. For the month of June, we took our inspiration from the colors of the rainbow. And if you know me, you know that I love monochromatic colors, and this was a little bit of a stretch, but this is the perfect example on how we inspire each other. I am always inspired by the projects that I see from the CDT girls, and I am always inspired to see what the membership posts in our group. So I decided that I was going to try my hand on using rainbow colors. I started with this really pretty pattern paper here, and then I thought, you know what? I'm simply going to bring in the colors of the rainbow with my mats. It was a very simple thing to do, but I think was very impactful. I talked about grounding all of my colors with black and white, and I even changed up my little butterflies here to black and white. Originally, when I was testing things out, I had done a whole bunch, and I was going to use colors, but because my photos were colorful, because my mats were colorful, I switched it up, and I think that the CDT membership agreed that that was a good call, but nothing goes to waste because we always show cards. And these are two of the cards that were included in this class. For the month of July, I thought I'd share with you a project that I did during our Christmas in July collaboration. I took an everyday card kit and I transformed that kit into Christmas cards. Here you have 8 beautiful card designs, and when you use that kit, you can make 3 of each for a total of 24 cards. So if you want to get a jump start on some of your Christmas cards, this was a really good way to extend that box and think outside the box. Take an everyday card kit and turn it into Christmas. I do have a process video for that. I will link it down below. Speaking of using card kits and changing them into something else, in August we focused on using a card kit and turning it into a gorgeous layout. And I hope that you agree, this one here is pretty awesome. This was that gorgeous white and gold kit, and when I saw that, I really wanted to do yet another layout for my wedding album because I'm still working on it. In that class, we talked about clusters, we talked about adding a little bit of texture and dimension because we were doing white on white, pulling the one color in your photos to make it all work, and we even talked about how to properly scan original photos. These were all original photos, and I think that they turned out quite nice. So in our classes, we talk about a variety of things, not just the layout that you see in front of me here, but we give tips on how to do your photos, how to size your photos. We just go through a lot of information. Let me show you the cards that I did with this kit. Because as you know, we always present a beautiful double page layout and we extend the product and turn whatever we have left into cards. These cards are simply elevated from what the kit was by adding a few more layers and by also adding color. I really love the way that this turned out. For this last project, I think this was my favorite class to teach. This was back in September, so not that long ago. When you join the CDT membership, you can see this class in its entirety. We were focusing on stash to stunning. And for my class, I went through my little box of pre-made ephemera and I created not one, but 4 layouts. Let's start with layout 1. For layout 1, I focused on all things sunflowers. And if you know me, you know that I love sunflowers. And these pieces were all pre-done in a drawer sitting there for years. I went through the selection process. I talked about how we were going to create these clusters, and I went in depth on how to really make things work. This class even came with a sketch to help you create along with your very own stash. And of course, I threw in a couple of cards. Now you will notice one thing that is common across all layouts. I brought in the Country Woods paper as my grounding base, if you want, and the rest were honestly all in my scrapbooking room. So this was layout number 1. For layout number 2, I created a separate sketch, and you can see that all of my clustering, all of my ephemera are all lined up beside the photos here. I concentrated on how to create this cluster even before adding spots for your photos. Again, you will see here that I have a little bit of that country wood here, and I was able to extend it. Let me just move that a little bit. I was able to extend it and create cards. I really, really love the way this layout turned out. For this layout here, it was when I was sorting my ephemera, it was going to be a Valentine's Day layout. And as it progressed and as I was working through all of the details, I think this would make a really pretty wedding page. And I guess it's because I'm still focusing on my wedding album. This one here, I did start with the country wood, but it really wasn't capturing the moment or the feeling that I wanted for this gorgeous layout. Do you see that? All of the clustering, and we went through that. And of course, I was able to use some of the leftovers to create 2 gorgeous cards. But wait, there's one more layout. This one here, you could probably create, because if you're like me and you die cut multiples of your Christmas ephemera, this might be one that you can definitely recreate. This one here was done focusing on all of the golds and the blues. I just so love how this turned out. I have my 3 photos here, and of course I was able to pull off 2 additional cards. We have that country wood paper right here at the bottom. So you can see that with that one single pack of pattern paper, I was able to distribute it into 4 different seasons: winter, beach, summer, and even Valentine's or wedding. Let me bring them all back in. This class here was so satisfying. I went through all of those pieces, sorted them all, put them all on individual layouts, and I made room to, yes, create more ephemera. But this was a really good way to use my stash and mix it all up into pretty unique scrapbook layouts. So if you've loved what you've seen here today, you are going to love being part of the Creative Design Team membership. We've reopened our doors right now, so this is the perfect time to join our creative family. You will gain immediate access to weekly classes, tip videos, challenges, and a warm, inspiring community that will cheer you on every step of the way. You can find all of the details down in the description box below. I want to thank you so much for sharing some of your creative time with me today. Don't forget to check back and see all of the other never before seen scrapbook layout pages from the Creative Design Team girls. They have awesome layouts to share with you here this week. I really hope you join us in the CDT membership. We love teaching classes, and this is only 1/7 of what you'll see inside that group. Have yourself a fantastic day, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now.